This is the KiHa 261 series of train, found on express services in the far north of Japan on the island of Hokkaido. Designed in a partnership with Danish state railways more than 20 years ago, this train is the backbone of unelectrified main lines in Hokkaido. So join me on a trip from the important Shinkansen interchange station at Shin-Hakodate-Hokuto up along the coast of the Uchiura Bay in the shadows of Hokkaido's mountains to the island's main city, Sapporo. While we dive into why the Danish state railway was involved in designing these trains for Japan. Our journey starts at the important interchange station at Shin-Hakodate-Hokuto, which was extensively rebuilt in 2016 with the arrival of the Shinkansen to Hokkaido. However, there's been a station roughly on this location since 1902, but of much less importance. Right, let's get inside and go find our train. It'll be leaving fairly soon, so we gotta be a bit quick. To access the platforms, we'll have to head upstairs using the escalators, but it's worth noting down here there's also a tourist information center. Once up on the main station floor, we'll find one of the station's few cafes. And next to it, you'll also find the station's main waiting room. And eventually we get to the ticket counter, which is staffed from 6 till 19. The station consists of two separate areas, one for Japan's famous Shinkansen trains, which is how I got here on this 320 km/h E5 series Shinkansen. But we will instead be catching something much slower. Out in the open we will find Japan's regular narrow gauge railways. And with our train departing soon, it's time for us to head towards the gate line and proceed to the platform. As with most major stations in Japan, you have to scan your ticket in order to access the platform. Simply just insert it, and make sure to grab it again as you exit. Trains to Sapporo generally leave from track number 3, but it could be changed last minute, so make sure you check the screens. Today, however, is no exception, and our limited express Hokuto is leaving from track number 3 at 12:34. It's nice to see there's so much indoor waiting space, especially considering here in the middle of January it's really cold in Hokkaido. At the end of the stairs down to the platform, you will find a handy screen showing where you can find your carriage. As I'm traveling in the green car today, it will be at the rear of the train. Our train appears in the distance just a few moments later, having started its journey down in actual Hakodate. This is a KiHa 261 built by various manufacturers from 2000 onwards, capable of speeds of up to 130 km/h. As the stop is brief, let's get on board. All seats in green car on this train is reserved, so if you're traveling on a JR pass like me, make sure you make a reservation either at the ticket machine or online before traveling. Today I have picked seat number 6A, which is a solo window facing seat. We depart Shin-Hakodate-Hokuto right on time at 12:34. And as we depart, we can see the construction of the future extension of the Shinkansen line to Sapporo, which will cut the journey time from Hakodate to about 1 hour. And speaking of journey time, let's see how long this trip takes on today's route map. We are on board the limited express Hokuto number 11, which has started down in Hakodate and made its way up to Shin-Hakodate-Hokuto. From here, our train will traverse the 300 kilometers over the next 3.5 hours for a scheduled arrival into Sapporo at 16:04, giving the train an average speed of 86 km/h. Our journey takes us through beautiful Hokkaido. But unfortunately today the weather isn't doing it justice. Here we are approaching Mori Station. From here on the railway line will hug the coast all the way up to Tomakomai, which is about 2 hours away. Another country with long coastlines is Denmark, so let's talk about the Danish history with these trains. In 1990, JR Hokkaido and DSB, the Danish State Railways, established official cooperative ties. Both companies at the time saw great potential in a partnership, with Hokkaido and Denmark back then sharing many similar attributes such as climate, population, economy and agriculture. JR Hokkaido was particularly impressed with Danish interior design, and for its project with designing a new express train for Hokkaido's limited express services, the work on a new train was split 50-50, with Japanese engineers working mostly on the rolling stock's basic design and structure, while designers from DSB worked on the train's interior. Which explains some of the train's Scandinavian design elements, such as wood paneling and leather seats. Looking at this old picture of a KiHa 261, I do see some resemblance to a Danish IC3. In addition, designers from DSB also worked a lot on a few station projects, which is also described in great detail in this article from Japan Railway and Transport publication from July 2000. I've linked it in the description. And I guess now that we have spoken so much about the train's interior, let's have a look at it. This is all the way at the back under the cab, which is of course fenced off. Also, a thing I noticed is here by the doors you will find a small picture from around Hokkaido. There's also a bin. And now let's continue into the green car. Here you'll find seats in a 1+2 layout, as expected. They all rotate to face the direction of travel. Once you get out to the vestibule, here you'll find some more space for luggage. Interesting enough, there's also a multi-purpose room. This is also where you will find the staff compartments. Continuing on, we will leave the green car and go to second class seating. This is also where you will find the toilets. On board Japanese trains you might often find a urinal. But of course there's also a normal full-sized restroom next to it. This was looking spotlessly clean, fully functional and well stocked with toilet paper, as you'd expect from the Japanese railways. In standard class you will find seats in a 2+2 layout, with comfortable reclining seats like this. Above every seat you'll find sizable luggage racks, and as you can see they can take quite big bags. But even if that's not enough, there's plenty of space at the end of each carriage. And as the rest of the carriages are largely identical with a similar layout, let's go back to my seat. As you saw, there's no buffet or dining car on board this train. So instead I bought this cool looking Shinkansen E7 bento box from the station in Tokyo, which is highly recommended if you want some food on these long journeys. I can also highly recommend the seats up here in green car. With excellent legroom, a movable footrest, a storage pocket, coat hook, reading light, blinds of course, a really comfortable pillow, with a great soft base. This is basically one big armchair that is really comfortable, and of course a power outlet. The tray table extends from the armrest and can be folded out like this. It is a bit flimsy, so if you're trying to get some work done it can be a bit tough. But overall I really like these seats, thumbs up. As our train approaches Higashi-Muro Station, our train rejoins with Hokkaido's electrified railway network and will do so all the way to Sapporo. This means our train will become pretty much a super express, only making very limited stops into Sapporo's main station. And we can tell that we're almost there when the area gets more and more built up. So what are my thoughts on this train? Well, it certainly is a bit noteworthy to me as a Dane, but overall, the trains are comfortable, but not more than that. The narrow gauge line is a bit slow and bumpy in places, and especially when the train accelerates, the engines can get loud. It's gonna be nice seeing Shinkansen trains here sometime in the future. And as we pull into Sapporo Station, it's time to talk about ticket prices. The train is fully included in the JR Railpass, but all green cars are reserved, so you do have to make a seat reservation for free if you have a green car pass. Otherwise, the cash fare is 9,440 yen in standard, and another 3,660 on top if you want to sit in the green car seats. And here we are arriving into Sapporo's main station, a few minutes behind schedule, after an otherwise pretty comfortable and uneventful journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as I try to upload a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.